Our next presenter, Brandon Dohman, says, I'm just a geek who loves burgers and beer. That sounds like me. Brandon.
All right. What's up? I don't really like podiums, so hopefully I can stand here long enough that you guys can like me or hear me. But my name is Brandon, and I'm here to talk to you guys about burgers. And I want to kind of cover the process of how I make burgers and why I love them and whatnot. And like he said, I'm a huge nerd. I do technology, I program, I do everything geeky possible. And I'm not here tonight to teach you guys how to save the world. I wish I was. I wish I did something cool like riding across the U.S. for cancer and whatnots. But I'm just not there yet. Right now, what I got is burgers. And maybe someday, or maybe somebody out there like, ladies, hopefully you know, the way to a man's heart is through food. And burgers could be that way. So maybe you can learn this. And my thing about burgers is do them fancy. You guys, you watch the Food Network and you watch Giada and you see this special Italian dish or seafood, and it's like, oh, I'm going to make this, and it's awesome. And then burgers get this bad rap as, oh, let's go have a cookout. Let's throw this piece of crap meat on a burger and then put it up on the grill and put some cheese on it, and let's do it. No. And so before I get into my whole fresh ingredients thing, I don't know what fresh ingredient, like, say, oh, I just had a salad. It tastes fresh. What the hell does fresh taste like? I know what a stale, like, tomato might be, but it's like, oh, this salad is fresh. What the hell does that mean? It's like going to the counter and ordering a Gatorade and be like, what kind do you want? Flavor? Oh, I'll take a yellow. So my thing is fresh ingredients, fresh ingredients, fresh ingredients. Get the best that you can get to start your burgers. So this here is a picture actually from the Urbana food market. So starting with the fresh ingredients, the farmer's market, getting your lettuce, getting your tomatoes, whatnot. The next thing is get some meat. Don't get that crappy 80-20, 70-30, whatever hamburger stuff. Get the top sirloin. Get the 97.3. Get the good stuff. Trust me, you'll like it. And get it from a butcher. Don't just get it from your grocery store. Get it from a guy you know. Get it from this guy. I mean, look at what he's like. He's wearing a tie. Wearing a tie, cutting up steaks. He values his product. He really, really enjoys this. So, fresh ingredients. It is a must. It is a must. And trust me on this. I'm going to get into this a little bit more. And the next thing I want is buns. Buns are key. Don't screw this up. I like potato buns because they are much richer. They are much heartier. They're solid. When you make a real juicy burger and you have a crappy bun, the bottom bun's going to be soggy and it's going to suck. Trust me. I did a lot of experiments. I finally found potato buns in town. The county market out on Windsor. Trust me. The next thing you need is an iron skillet. And you're asking, why do I have a picture of an old lady and kids up here? The thing is, the best iron skillet you can find is going to be from your grandma. And the hope is that she's old enough that you can steal it and she's not going to know. But the thing is, if your grandma doesn't have one, go to Target, you'll find one. The number one key ingredient in all my burgers is bacon. Whether the burger has bacon on it or not, bacon is a key to the start of the process. And you'll see here we have a cast iron skillet with bacon in it. And all of my burgers that I cook, which I'll show you in a minute, are all cooked in bacon. It is the number one key ingredient. And so everybody's like, why bacon? So I cook the bacon in the skillet. Even if I'm not going to put it on the burger, I'm cooking bacon because I want that bacon fat. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sirloin and I'm going to put it up into a nice little ball, which will come here in a second. And we're going to put that in the skillet and we're going to cook it in the bacon grease. And the reason we do this is that we sear in that juiciness of the burger. So here's what we got. I like to make my burgers 1/3 of a pound, which is roughly the size of a baseball. So what you do, go to the butcher, that nice guy with a tie, and get your sirloin. Grab a handful out, roll it into a nice little ball. About the size of a baseball will be perfect. 1/2 of a pound, you get a little too much meat, it's a little too much. So this is what the pan looks like after you've cooked about 3 or 4 pieces of bacon. You have a nice little coat of bacon grease, nice little coat of bacon fat. And you take this ball and you put it in the iron skillet. And what you want to do is you want to take your spatula and you want to flatten it. Don't flatten it before, flatten it during. And then you can see here, there's kind of a little dimple in the middle of the meat. What you want to do is you want to put your thumb down in the middle of the meat. Everybody has probably made a burger and it turns into a UFO. Gets real big and skinny. Put the dimple in the middle. No more UFO. You'll see here, if you look at the top of the burger round, you get a nice sear on the meat. So it's kind of like cooking a steak on a really hot grill. You get a nice sear, you keep all the juices in. It's like, how do you get juices with no fat in your meat? Trust me, it's doable. So once you get done with your burger, the next thing is the toppings. And so I had this conversation with a friend of mine. It's like, I wanted to make mayonnaise one night. I didn't want to take the mayonnaise just from the jar. I wanted to make homemade mayonnaise. So he sends me a message. He goes, hey, man, you want to go to a beer? No, I want to make some mayonnaise tonight. I don't think he quite understood what I was wanting to do. So my favorite thing is the mayonnaise is a base. I put mayonnaise on all my burgers because it's a great base. It's not too intense. It's not too much. So my favorite ingredient to add on one of these burgers is mayo and sriracha. Mayo, sriracha, and if you use some sweetened condensed milk or maple syrup, it's fantastic. So once you've got all your fresh ingredients, once you've cooked your burger in your grandma's cast iron skillet, you come out with a fantastic burger like this. And my thing about burgers is that a lot of people is like make these burgers and then they cover them with so much crap that you lose the taste of the meat. And the meat is the #1 thing most important on these burgers, is that you want to enjoy the meat, and that's the juice, that's the amazing, that's the flavor that you're gonna get. I don't season my meat, I don't put salt, I don't put pepper. It's all about the meat itself. And you get all of that extra awesomeness from the bacon. So I'll go through a couple of burgers. This one has got red onions, bacon, it's stuffed with blue cheese. I also don't like stuffing burgers with stuff, like jalapenos and all this other stuff, but it's hard to put blue cheese on a burger and not burn it in the pan without falling off, and it screws up your burger. This one here, which I actually got from some of my friends, is like, hey, why don't you throw rosemary in a burger? We were doing some experimenting, and it actually turned out pretty fantastic. This is cheddar, Munster, Spanish onion, and rosemary, and a mayonnaise-based sauce. And my last one, which is my favorite, which has got a lot of ingredients people probably wouldn't think about putting on burgers, is pickled daikon and radish, basil, cilantro, and the mayo sriracha sauce. So with that, that's my last slide. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hopefully, I taught you in my quick time up here how to make a fantastic burger. If you get any questions, give me a shout. I'll answer them the best I can.